Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube with Tru Heel Heat 122. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot of news to get into on this edition of Tru Heel Heat. We will be discussing all of the fallout from Trash Bag Gate 2021 and the subsequent firing of the WWE Talent Relations Department. We will also be discussing a top WWE superstar contemplating leaving the company, a former Mania main eventer who is pregnant, AEW Dynamite with two excellent title matches, WWE NXT with the debut of Cool Kyle, WWE Raw with Charlotte Flair being suspended, preview and prediction for Impact Rebellion, and more. I am back once again with the beautiful, the lovely Miss Krssi Luv.
Good morning. How are you all? Missed you guys last week.
Yes, happy belated birthday to you. We wished you happy birthday on the last episode.
Yes.
Got to do it here as well. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And we are joined for the second week in a row by the captain of the DeLorean, the pilot, the driver on True Rewind. He runs the ship. He mans the Tru Heel Heat station on NX3 and formerly on Wednesday Night Warriors. He is the connoisseur of reporting, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me back once again. Krssi laughing a bit too hard at Charlotte's suspension.
I'm laughing because I know you're like devastated right now. That's why I'm laughing. I know you are like want to cuss and like beat up people because I know you're hurting inside. That's why I was laughing.
We can
I
talk
feel
about
so
it
bad
later for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and this is a quick reminder to everyone watching. If you're watching on YouTube, drop us a like, smash that like button. All of our live streams have been doing very well in the like department, but we want to make this one of our most liked Tru Heel Heat, so drop us a like. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on YouTube, on your favorite social media platforms. Of course, if you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button and push the bell to stay notified so you always get the good content right here on Tru Heel Heat. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, drop us a like, a heart emoji, a laugh emoji, an angry emoji, any type of engagement you can give us for the video. It definitely helps us out. We appreciate all of you guys watching and helping us out by sharing the video with your friends, tagging your friends in the comment section. And of course, if you're watching us live on any of those platforms, leave your thoughts in the live chat. We love to get you guys involved. We love these live streams because it's for you. It's for you guys. So we love to hear your thoughts. We had Mark Lloyd before we even went live. He said, "Hey everyone, hope you are all good. SP3 is the man." Mark Lloyd, you are wrong because you're the man. Thank you for dropping us that comment, and I hope you're watching. Leave your thoughts on everything going on in the wrestling world because we got a lot to get into, folks. But like I said, this is for you guys, everyone watching. So, of course, we start off this Tru Heel Heat with the Tru Heel Roll Call. This edition of Tru Heel Heat is brought to you by our friends over at Powered 4 TV and Battle Club Pro. Battle Club Pro, their huge event, 2 events in one day on May 29th at Ridgeville Park, New Jersey. Battle Club Pro, may the franchise reign. We had Darius Carter and Joakim Morales last week on the show, so shouts out to them and looking forward to that huge event. You can get your tickets if you're in the East Coast on brownpapertickets.com. So let's do our Tru Heel roll call, our top 3 conversation starters on our Tru Heels group page as follows. Coming in at number 3, we got Charles Kirkhoff. Coming in at number 2 is Krssi Luv's favorite, JMC, Jason Michael Campbell. And coming in at number 1, is none other than my co-host from Powered 4 SP3, John Scott. John Scott's been busy in the Tru Heels group page, so he gets the #1 spot this week.
Okay.
So yeah, former guest host on Tru Heel Heat. John's been doing
right. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Couple of Tru Heels we got to shout out: Luis Jaden, Jose Antonio Roman, Osma Khan, Bryant Humphrey Jr., and our subscriber highlight on YouTube, David Boston, commented on me and Romeo's A&E biography Stone Cold Steve Austin review. Stone Cold Steve Austin was truly the reason why I became a wrestling fan. Great review. Thank you so much for that comment, David Boston. Me and Romeo, we broke down everything in the A&E biography, Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you guys don't watch my work on other YouTube channel, go over to Sports Keto Wrestling YouTube channel now. Take a look at Smack Talk when we're done with this live stream. I was on there with Dutch Mantel. I got to ask him about giving Steve Austin the Steve Austin name. So you can put the biography review with me and Romeo together with that, and you got a complete story. Some great stuff going on.
That was a great story. Dutch was great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Grandpa Dutch, I hope you're watching. Shouts out to you as well.
Shout out to you guys, because you guys did a great job on that biography.
Thank you. And thank you for everyone who has watched so far. Over 400 views, almost over like 20 something likes. If we can get those likes up to get closer to the views, we would love it. So go over and watch that when we're done with this Tru Heel Heat 122. And then our final subscriber highlight, we have Kwame Shafir saying WrestleMania 37 Night 1 is the best night in Black wrestling history, with Bobby Lashley being the first Black man to walk into WrestleMania and walk out WWE champion, but the second Black wrestler to ever achieve that feat since the legendary Jazz first did it 20 years ago. And Bianca and Sasha tore the house down in that historic main event that will be remembered and talked about for generations to come, while night 2 felt like a boring, mundane episode of Raw. Gotta love
wow.
with those long, detailed comments. We love to read your comments on Tru Heel Heat. So drop us a comment in the comment section. Drop us your thoughts in the live chat, and we'll make sure you are a part of this show. But Krssi Luv, Romeo, there was some big news this week, wasn't it? Did you guys hear all about it? If not, we will show the people the image that started this all. There it is. Yes.
Mickie James looks different.
Yes, that is not the Mickie that I remember, but we'll just leave that right there while I tell everybody.
You know what?
Mickie James receives her belongings following her WWE release in a trash bag, which creates a domino effect that leads to a purge of the talent relations department. Wow. Yes, I had to move that because of his face. But yes, on Thursday, recently released, Mickie James took to Twitter to tweet a photo, as you saw right there, of a trash bag with her name on it, and said, "Dear Vince McMahon, I'm not sure that you are aware, but I received my WWE care package today. Thank you. Hashtag always blessed and grateful. Hashtag women's wrestling matters." This tweet created a domino effect where other past release female talent came out and said that they had also received their belongings the same way, such as Gail Kim, who was released almost 10 years ago, Jillian Hall, who was released almost like 9 or 8 years ago, Maria Kanellis, who was released last year in the Black Wednesday incident. Wrestling Observer reported that some female talent that were just recently released received the wrong belongings in trash bags and had to arrange sending them back. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon responded to Mickie James's tweet, saying that they were embarrassed with the treatment of Mickie and the released talent, and they also said that the person responsible was fired from the company. Then an hour later, Wrestling Inc. reported that the senior head of talent relations, Mark Carano, had been released from WWE. His entire staff for talent relations were also later let go following this, including Director of Talent Relations, Nicole Zagoli, and also moved referee John Cole, who was a part of the Talent Relations Department, back to his on-screen role as a referee. Other former talents such as Darren Young took to Twitter to express how Mark Carano was not a good person. We also, Fightful reported that they spoke to multiple former talent who were all in favor of Mark Carano's firing, many calling him a snake and someone who let the position get to his head. They also spoke to current talent who said the writing was on the wall with Carano's power lessening recently with the return of Johnny Ace to the backstage area, John Laurinaitis. Some even think that Carano will return to the company because he knows where too many bodies are hidden at. John Laurinaitis on Carano's world. John Laurinaitis also took to Twitter to apologize to the talent, and also Fightful reported that Johnny Ace was calling recently released talent to apologize on behalf of the company. Mickie James responded WWE's response to Trash Bag Gate on her Twitter. You can see a full response. She had a full detailed message on her Twitter. It's the pinned tweet on her Twitter page. In response to Stephanie's tweet in particular, though, this is a little bit damning. She says, "Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. I am equally embarrassed. I know this wasn't a malicious act. However, it did feel very symbolic to how I was presented in the last 3 years." Wow. So yes, guys. Romeo, Krssi Luv, Trash Bag Gate broke it down for the. Leave your thoughts in the live chat of what you thought about Trash Bag Gate, all the domino effect that has happened since there with talent relations. Let's start with Krssi Luv since you're back on the show. And what are your thoughts on this entire Trash Bag Gate and the treatment of Mickie James with this her belongings coming in this fashion?
It's very sad and unfortunate, man. Yeah. it's unprofessional. It's really sad, and the fact that no one didn't really even know about like how they were shipping people's items and personal belongings, which is really, really bad as well. It's like you're the head of the company. You were told to do these things, and you're not following up and don't understand what's happening. It's really, really bad. Like several people dropped the ball. I guess that's why they had to fire, damage control and fire people. But other than that, if you're telling people to do these things, you're firing people. I don't understand why we have to put them in trash bags. It's really, really bad. It's very tacky and sad, and just puts another L on WWE's list yet again. Yet not surprising.
Yeah, you didn't get to talk about really the releases from last week, but what was your feelings for Mickie James, Samoa Joe, that whole list of talent iconics who were let go last week?
Another, again, really sad and unfortunate is especially the iconics. So I really felt for them because they were together, you broke them up, and then you wasn't really giving them much of a chance. And then, Billy had the whole gimmick of the resume, which was very funny and quirky. And she was trying to do what she could do, but you still was like, okay, we're going to let her go anyway. Like, what's the point? Then Peyton has been sitting in the back. She had she gave that killer promo, and then she has the.
Did we lose Krssi? She froze for you too, Romeo?
Yes, frozen.
She's still in time. We will get Krssi back with us when she can. Romeo, what was your thoughts on Mickie James's release and Trash Bag Gate 2020?
Man. Trash bag relations. What's funny is you were mentioning that this has happened before to female talent. I guess it just finally happened to a female talent that they care about and respect, and it's a Hall of Famer, I guess.
No. You mean a female talent put it on social media? This is the first time.
Well, I thought Maria did before, no?
No, she didn't.
Okay, well, this is bad. Mark Carano, if you rehire him, then all of this means nothing. He has to stay fired. And I enjoyed Nick Aldis's tweet. He was talking about another FedEx showed up at the door. Should I do a live unboxing? That was funny. Mickie James, though, I didn't like her tweet, her second tweet. the last sentence, taking it out on Stephanie. Stephanie McMahon didn't have anything to do with how you were presented the
Yes, she did.
past couple of years.
She works with creatives.
Does she?
Yeah.
All right, well, then she deserved it. I'm sorry. I thought Stephanie had a backstage role, marketing and all that stuff.
I
Branding.
mean, she does do like marketing, but she does have her. I think she still does have a hand in like the creative process. Her or Triple H, they're involved in it some way.
I also liked how Triple H and Johnny Ace's tweets were exactly the same. Social media intern, switch it up a little bit. Jeez.
Absolutely, we got a couple of photos here. Mickie James. I just feel like it's just a damn shame that Mickie James was one of the biggest names of like the ruthless aggression era for women's wrestling in WWE. It's Mickie James, Beth Phoenix, Victoria. Those are the names that are synonymous with that. It really built the bridge that went from Trish and Lita to the era of like AJ Lee and Paige that went into the era of the Four Horsewomen. But Mickie was never a part of WWE when they actually valued or appreciated women's wrestling. Now they do. She comes back, and I said it last week, the peak of her fucking run is being the sidekick for Alexa Bliss. The sidekick for a woman who's now being portrayed as Freddy Cougar meets Angelica Pickles. That was the peak of her return run, and it's just sad. This just makes it damning to WWE and an entire indictment of not only their creative team, but their management. Because, like, people, I know there's the WWE fans out there. We probably got a couple of comments. We're going to go through your comments. Keep leaving them in the live chat as we go on. But that there's the WWE stands out there, the WWE fans that will always back up and defend WWE in situations like this. And welcome back to Krssi Luv.
Sorry, guys.
No worries. But like the WWE fans are saying, Triple H and Stephanie, they have no idea about that. And Vince has no idea about that. But the fact that we have females that have been released 10 years ago, the fact that Triple H, Stephanie, and Vince don't know anything about that is an indictment. It's also an indictment on their management that they had no knowledge of that there's no trickle down effect. They just see the invoices a little bit higher for garbage bags in April, and they just let it slide. They're like, who cares? They'll be all right. We'll apologize to them later. We're making it good. It's an entire management problem, and I feel like although Mark Carano, we've had examples of former wrestlers saying that he's a snake, saying that he's not a good person. I feel like he is the sacrificial lamb because it's an overall problem with WWE, and it can't be directed to one person or just one department, in my opinion. So we got a couple of comments here in the comment section. Shouts out to Jason Michael Campbell. He said, "Sup, y'all?" He's in the comments. The man, the host of Lockdown Sessions, our good brother JC Justin Clapper. He's in the comments. He says, "Good morning, Tru Heel Heat crew." Jason Campbell says, "I'm glad Mark was fired." We got Brett Thomas in the comments. He says, "Shout out to SB3. Shout out to you, sir. I'm sure you will love Romeo and Krssi as well." I don't know.
Where's our shout outs? Jeez.
I don't know if they're Logan Paul fans, though. So he's a big Logan Paul fan. So just so you guys know. And then we have my good brother, John Scott, the number one on the Tru Heel Trinity, the number one conversation starter, John Scott, in the comments. He says, "Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon for you folks in the UK watching." Rambo says, "Agreed, though nobody should be treated in that way, but it's not just wrestling. This happens in all." Yeah, he's right. It happens in a lot of different fields. He also says, "Boo-hoo.
Put your stuff in a box and just go."
You can't keep people just built on name power and sentimental value. They stockpiled this ladies division. WWE is like an ocean, but if you make it to the top, you huge, like Bianca and Rhea. I tend to disagree with this statement because Sasha Banks made it to the top in like 2016. She was still being a mid-card or a lower card woman in 2017. This happens all the time. Unless you're Charlotte Flair, it seems, in the last 5 years, you don't get a consistent push. So I would not put any dog coins on Bianca and Belair and Rhea Ripley being treated like stars once they lose those titles. I'm just saying. History tends to disagree with you.
I have to agree with you on that part as well, friend. It's really sad to say, but yeah, if you're not Charlotte, you don't really get that big push like everyone else does. We'll see what happens when Becky comes back. Well, let's see what happens.
It's very true.
I don't know.
It's very true.
She comes back.
And for folks who aren't familiar with Total Divas, Mark Carano is this gentleman on screen.
Oh, that's who that is.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he's always been a scumbag. So yeah, goodbye.
Well, I felt for the guy watching Total Divas because Natalya bothers him a lot.
Natalya bothers a lot of people a lot. So I mean, that's not really his fault.
But yeah, if you're treating talent like that, especially sending in their gear and trash bag, and the fact that like I said, Gail Kim, Jillian Hall, this is not women that were fired 4 or 5 years ago. This is like 10 years ago. He's been treating female talent like this that get released 4 years. 4 years. So yeah, I respect WWE for getting rid of their talent relations department, making it anew. That's a decent gesture. But I'm not gonna praise them for it. I'm not gonna act like they my god, they're so great, and I'm not gonna defend them over anything regarding this or lack of knowledge or knowledge of stuff. There's no excuse for talent to be treated like this, especially a legend like Mickie James. But Krssi Luv, you weren't on the show last week, like I said before. What is your overall thoughts on Mickie James's return run in WWE since 2016?
She didn't really have one. She had little bits and pieces here and there, but what return? I'll wait to see. Let me know what you have to tell me, and I can say, oh yeah, I remember that, because I don't.
Well, I did say that the peak of her run was being the sidekick of Alexa Bliss for like a year and a half, a lot longer than she should have been.
You're right. And I barely remember that part.
Yeah,
like she was that, and then she got replaced by Nikki Cross.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's actually true. The former crazy woman got replaced by the new crazy woman.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep, that's exactly what happened. So I guess everyone needs to be a sidekick to Alexa Bliss now.
Seems to work out for folks. It seemed to work out for Mickie for a while until it didn't. But we want to send the best to Mickie James.
Yes,
I hope that she gets back on her feet. I hope she knows that.
Please go to AEW, please.
AEW, Impact Wrestling. It really doesn't matter to me. I just want her.
Does she want to wrestle though? I feel like she was more vested in her music career lately though.
No, she wants to wrestle. She said it. She addressed it on the podcast that she has with Victoria and Cool Kyle Val that she's been wanting to wrestle. She's wrestled for months and she's pitched ideas. She's done matches that weren't aired on TV. Chelsea Green did an interview with Fightful Wrestling saying that her and Mickie had a match that never aired on TV, and that was sad. That was supposed to set up her storyline where she wanted to play the new Mickie James and Mickie James play the role of the old Trish Stratus in a reversal of roles, but it never came to fruition. And I would have loved to see it, but
yes, it's really, really sad and unfortunate.
Ty Conti, Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, Jade Cargill, go get it, Mickie James. Go get it. Go help those girls.
I mean, yeah, you can definitely put them over.
Yeah, they need the help, and hey, come on. It's all about helping the young talent. They're going to give you an opportunity to work with as much talent as you would like, and you can help really build that division and be the star of the women's division in AEW. So I will be all for it, and I know you guys will as well. We have to get to a couple more comments shortly, but I have one last question for you guys. How do you guys see this affecting WWE long term, or if at all? Let's start with you, Romeo.
I think, in their opinion, they've swept this under the rug, and business
As
will go on
always.
as usual.
Yep.
But like I said earlier, if Mark Carano returns, then you're going to see a big social media breakdown of what was the whole point.
Right.
It's true. Krssi Luv.
Definitely. I definitely agree with you, Romeo. It's like it's been. They always sweep something underneath the rug, like like it never even happened. And then they just expect people to be like, oh, okay, which sometimes that does happen, but I think now people are more aware and have more like platforms to speak, and I don't think it's going to be just like brushed underneath the it's going to be swept away right away. I feel like more people will have more platforms to speak, and people have other outlets to now get to. Like WWE is not the only platform that you can just sit around and just wait. You can be brought up and be very talented and push people and train people and do more things other places, and they will welcome you with open arms. So
yeah, there's gonna be more for Mickie James to achieve out there. But I just think that WWE did long-term damage to their image more than anything. But
yes,
at the end of the day, like I also addressed earlier, they have a group and a majority of their fans that will defend them
to the day they cannot do any wrong in their eyes. They are the WWE marks forever.
It's true. Rambo says Mark Carano will probably be signed by AEW.
No, please, no. Oh,
in the words of my co-host from Wrestling Daily, I am willing to put good money that will never happen, sir. That will never happen.
Cody knows well, and Cody ain't gonna do that. And what's the other guy named that? Tony Khan. They're not doing that. No.
Yes, Brandy knows him well too. So we don't know how Brandy was treated when she got let go from WWE.
Yes.
Chase Oliver says NWA nice for Mickie James. That's a take that I haven't heard a lot, which surprises me. I haven't heard a lot because Nick Aldis is not only the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, he's a part of the creative on NWA. So this could be something. This could be something. And Mickie James versus Thunder Rosa. Oh, just take my money now. I'm with that. I would love to see it. Jason Michael Campbell, he says, I'm excited for MLW's move to Vice TV. Yes, we were going to talk about that later. MLW is going to Vice TV. They're going to have they're going to have their first show with fans in attendance in Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena on July 10th, which will be a live edition of MLW. So very much looking forward to that. They've been building up a title versus title match between Alexander Hammerstone and Jacob Fatu, which I think is probably going to happen at that event, but they're doing good things. So big ups to MLW, Major League Wrestling. We've talked to AJ Kirsch in the past, who's worked with them, nothing but good words for them. So definitely a congrats to MLW. Jason Campbell also says Mickie could go to AEW, but I think she might go to NWA. It seems like a lot of people, Chase Oliver,
want her to go,
Chase Oliver saying again, NWA women's division, mad underrated. I mean, in terms of the talent that they have working for them right now, they have the champion Serena Deeb, who's probably one of the most underrated women in all of wrestling. Camille is an absolute beast. Thunder Rosa's there. Genocide is just debuted on the show, so they're building up some decent female talent, definitely in NWA. And Rambo says, I guarantee she will get a nice payout by WWE now as a sorry. I think he's talking about Mickie James. Hey, you never know. But Rambo also says
a little something extra in her check.
WWE
just a couple of extra dollars.
He says WWE isn't that bad. Yeah, they're really bad.
They're bad. See, he just proved your point. He's one of those people that are like, you know what? They can't really do no wrong to me in my eyes, You just proved our point, friend.
We appreciate him and his thoughts. Keep giving those thoughts in the live chat. We love making you guys a part of the show. You are like the other guest host of Tru Heel Heat. But we got to move on to what we missed. What we missed last night was, of course, WWE SmackDown. We broke it down in detail on Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel with Dutch Mantel and Ricky Tito. But I got to touch on a couple of the bigger news notes. The show was kind of dedicated to Cesaro and Daniel Bryan, looking to get Cesaro a shot at Roman Reigns in the Universal Championship. They defeated Jey Uso and Seth Rollins in a long opening tag team match that they won. And then Roman Reigns refused the challenge of Cesaro, and he challenged Daniel Bryan instead to one last Universal title match next week. And if Bryan loses, he will be banished from SmackDown. Romeo, what is your prediction? Do you think Roman Reigns gets the victory and Bryan is off? And if so, where will Daniel Bryan go next?
My wish is that I think Roman's going to win, obviously, and I think I hope Daniel Bryan would come save Raw, but I think he's serious. The rumors are true. I think it's the end of his contract. He wants to take time off, maybe part-time from here on out. I was wondering, like, why are they? It seemed like they're stacking next week's SmackDown. I was like, why? There must be something on TV, and I did look it up. It's the NFL draft, so that's why they're going so hard for next week's episode.
See, there had to be a reason, and that's why you're the connoisseur of reporting. You're reporting something. Good call. 2 title matches. You also got Apollo Crews versus Big E for the Intercontinental title next week on SmackDown. So you're right. They are stacking the deck against the NFL draft. Krssi Luv, do you think Bryan loses, and where do you see him going? Raw, NXT, or he's done in WWE?
He's definitely going to lose. He's going to take time to be with his children. Remember, they just had a baby. The baby's going to be 1 soon, so he hasn't been home a lot to see the baby. So, yeah, I definitely believe it's time for him to take a little break and be more part-time. You don't have to wrestle every day. I mean, it's been a good run. You've had great runs since you've came back from your this crazy and life-death injury. You know what I'm saying? So, it's time he wants to see his son and his daughter and just be a family man right now.
Yeah, I'm all for
it's all fine.
Damn, Sad, you said something there. You said the words NXT, and I was like, well, you had my curiosity. Now you got my attention.
Hey, he did show up in NXT. He said that he would talk to WWE because he wants to work with not just WWE but other companies. And in WWE's mind, or Vince McMahon's mind, NXT's a whole another company. Yeah, we got another company. Just go over there. Go to Tuesday nights. You'll be fine.
Go to Tuesdays.
Have some barn burners with Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly. Have a good time, Bryan. You'll be fine. I love WWE sometimes. They're funny like that. But since we're already talking about Daniel Bryan, and we can talk about the news concerning Daniel Bryan, he says that WrestleMania was an out-of-body experience, and he's contemplating leaving WWE. In an interview with BT Sports, Bryan said he felt detached before his WrestleMania 37 match and talked about how that's had him considering whether it's time to step back from full-time wrestling. And he also expressed that he would like to work with WWE and other people. So Krssi Luv, do you see this being the end for Bryan, or do you see him like continuing on for a couple of years, maybe as a part-timer? And do you see him sticking around in WWE?
I see him being a part-timer. I definitely think he'll stick around to WWE. I think he's loyal to them. I don't see him going to the other side yet. I don't see him even going to the other side at all, to be honest. I feel like his loyalty will stay to like Vince and everyone over there. But yeah, definitely going to be a part-timer like Brock. Come whenever the hell you feel like it. Come once, maybe twice. Who knows? Oh, don't come at all. Just know that you can come whenever you're ready. We'll open you. We'll come with you with open arms.
Those nice guys at WWE, they aren't that bad.
No.
Romeo, what's your thoughts on Bryan potentially leaving and the fact that he felt like he wasn't even there at WrestleMania 37?
Right.
He felt so detached in what was a classic main event.
Right.
That's
sad.
very concerning because you always hear wrestlers talk about like if if you feel like that, then it's time to hang it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you don't feel it anymore. That's very sad if that's true. You know, Daniel Bryan. I think he'll be a part-timer. I think WrestleMania Vince is always revolving those around part-timers, except for this year, besides the main event. But
right.
I think he'll be a part-timer that'll be called around for the big 4 pay-per-views.
Makes sense. So we got to move on to AEW Dynamite. And just for you, Krssi, I know we said we retired the drums, but you want to hit the drums before I announce their ratings for this week?
Of course, sure. You ready? Let's hit it.
Away. Take it away.
She got so excited.
I am.
AEW Dynamite once again comes in with over 1 million viewers this week, with 1.1 million viewers, down slightly from last week where they did 1.2 million, their second highest rating since the emergence of AEW Dynamite in 2019. This was the third highest viewership that they've had for AEW Dynamite. On this week's show, Darby Allin defeated Jungle Boy in a very good main event to retain the AEW TNT Championship. Hikaru Shida beat Tay Conte in an excellent to retain the AEW Women's World Championship. Hangman Page defeated Ricky Starks in a fun opener. Christian Cage defeated Powerhouse Hobbs. We got 2 really good promos from MJF and the Pinnacle, as well as Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle, hyping up Blood and Cuts in a couple of weeks. So very good show from AEW Dynamite. What stood out to you this week, Romeo?
MJF's promo, for sure. That was probably one of his best promos I've heard him do. And I wanted to ask you, where do you think they're going with Hangman Page for Double or Nothing?
What I've heard from Wrestling Observer is Dave Meltzer is speculating that Hangman Page is going to be the challenger for Kenny Omega. And when I looked at everything, and I've looked at who they're building up and who's on the top or who the announcers are saying, it makes sense because the announcers are very much like keep driving home the point that he's the number 1 ranked. We had the backstage segment with Hangman and Dark Order where he was asked about the Elite, where he just talked about everything but the Elite and then jetted the fuck up out of there. And but like they're over the last couple of weeks, they've been really trying to get him some high profile wins. Ricky Starks next week, he versus Brian Cage. So Brian Cage, that victory can really be the stamp where they be like, yeah, now he's going to get the shot at Omega. And it's a match with 4 weeks to go until Double or Nothing. You don't really have to do much. You can just honestly keep getting Hangman Page wins, and the match kind of writes itself. So I think Page should be the guy at Double or Nothing, but I don't think he should win just here.
That I agree with. It needs to be full packed crowd for Hangman when he has that moment.
Yes. I would not mind, though, because we've been hearing it a lot from commentary on AEW. It's really been the story about what we'll talk about later with the Rebellion main event between Swann and Omega. I really wouldn't mind Double or Nothing. Omega wins, but Hangman becomes the first guy to kick out of the One-Winged Angel. And it takes 2 One-Winged Angels to beat him.
To get him down.
To send that message that, I'll be back.
He's the guy.
You're not done with me.
Exactly. So I think that's the best way to make him look strong in defeat. Krssi Luv, what stood out on AEW Dynamite? And of course, give your thoughts on that incredible women's match between Conti and Shida.
Shout out to the women. The women, they heard us and they've been like building up the women over there at AEW, like little by little. Like the ball, the ball has been rolling a little bit faster for the ladies over there. But for me, I think Britt Baker coming out and saying that she's the number 1 rank and she's going to be the next, yes. And she came out with the ranking. It was on the screen. It was just like beautiful. And she's the next one. She's going to be like the number 1 contender since she's in the ranking. And yeah, I think that was like one of my favorite parts of the show for me. The ladies was taking over.
The ladies have been taking over the last couple of weeks. We've been seeing strong focus on Tay Conte. We've been seeing strong focus on Jay Cargill. I like the I like the little vignette with Jay talking about all the managers trying to get at her. It has that Macho Man feel from before Macho Man got with Elizabeth, where all the managers are trying to recruit
wanted him. Yeah.
And it makes her look desirable. So that's a good thing while it builds up for a little bit. So I've been really enjoying what they're doing with the women's division, but I agree with you. Britt Baker needs to win the AEW Women's World Championship at Double or Nothing, in my opinion. We got a couple of comments to read in the live chat. Chase Oliver says Reigns cut one of his best promos last night. Honestly, love how they keep Roman and Rollins away from each other. He also says Bayley getting a title shot for no reason is weird to me. I wanted to see Bayley versus Bianca. I agree with you. WWE did announce on social media yesterday that Bayley
that was going to happen.
Face Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania Backlash. I am happy for Bayley because she was left off the WrestleMania card. She does deserve better. She is the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion. But she hasn't won a match in a freaking 2 months. Like, WWE, at least let her win a match before you announce this. Like, why? Why are we prolonging the announcement of Cesaro and Roman Reigns, who Cesaro has a much stronger argument to get that title shot than Bayley gets with Bianca Belair? But y'all just give us that match, but Cesaro has to wait probably another 2 weeks before it's official that he's versus Roman, if at all, at WrestleMania Backlash. It's kind of ridiculous.
Hey, Bayley versus Bianca, one of the few matches that is not a WrestleMania rematch.
That is true.
Yes, at WrestleMania Backlash.
I said SmackDown. I said on Smack Talk last night. It's called WrestleMania Backlash because WrestleMania is still going, folks. All the feuds are.
You know what? That's absolutely right. The night 3. That is so damn true. Oh my God. So.
I am so down if Ray and Dominic win the titles. One of the few people who like Dominic. I like Dominic, and I enjoy him on the main roster because he's young. And there's not a lot of young people on the main roster.
And they do definitely push Dominic down our throats from day one.
I wouldn't say they push him down our throats. Okay. He's not winning every match. He's just there.
He's not, but he's there every damn. Okay.
And you mentioned this last night. He still has not performed in front of a live crowd.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
Yeah, I'm so sad. Okay,
they left him off WrestleMania.
Because they did the whole WrestleMania Friday night foolishness. Yeah, gotcha.
Exactly.
Oh, so Backlash is night 4. Excuse me.
Jason Michael Campbell says, if you could bring back Prime Ric Flair, who would it be again?
Oh, can I answer this?
Go ahead.
Can I answer this? I know. Charlotte Flair. Oh my God, that is a WrestleMania match I've ever seen one. Dad versus daughter. Oh my God, they would market the shit out of that. That's great.
Why am I not surprised? We got Chase Oliver saying Sheeta versus Ty Conte was a strong performance. Definitely agree with that. We also got Nick Jackson echoing the same thing. Sheeta and Conte was great as well. Ty Conte has improved so much since she's left WWE. It's beautiful to see. Time for Goat Baker to take her crown, though. Enjoy you calling her Goat Baker because that is the correct terms for the GOAT. I was.
I'm gonna laugh when Sheeta wins again.
Oh God, please! This title reign is never ending, and DMD ended. Brett Thomas says, "Where have the wrestling fans gone in general?" He says 2010 TNA on Mondays against Vince's Baby Raw was doing 1.1 million. And Raw around 3.4 through 3.6. Where are these fans now? Triller Flight Club smoked any of this pay-per-view. Where have all these fans gone? WWE pushed them away. That's the best answer that I can give you. WWE has been in a monotonous formula for over 25 years, and that has drove fans away in droves. So. And then we got we also got Brett Thomas saying AEW needs Jake Paul.
Oh, shocker with that profile picture.
Money, that's money. And Jason Michael Campbell says, yes, but it's going to be a triple threat. Sasha is going to be involved in that match. I don't think she is, because if it was, they would have told a story to get us there, not just announce Bayley versus Bianca.
I think that's possible down the line. Maybe the next step of this feud.
Yes.
Mhm.
Any thoughts on Darby Allin versus Jungle Boy before we move on to NXT? I thought that was a really good main event, and I've been really enjoying the push for Jungle Boy. I think it's 4 out of the last 7 weeks he's main evented
Yeah.
Dynamite, and back-to-back weeks he's main evented
Wait,
on
you mean Darby Allin?
Darby Allin, excuse me. Darby
Yes,
Allin.
I was about to say, wait, Jungle Boy main evented on
My
AEW.
apologies. My apologies.
I
Darby
was like,
Allin.
what did I miss?
Darby Allin has main evented the last 2 weeks, which is the second highest and third highest viewership of all time. So they're really putting the stamp that Darby Allin is their homegrown star right now for AEW.
Yep.
So what was your thoughts on that, Krssi?
Shout out to Darby because he's been performing his butt off since he's gotten that title. And he has been having great matches, but he hasn't disappointed not one time, I think.
I agree there. He's had a strong title reign so far, so hopefully it continues and we'll see where it goes. But we got to move on to WWE NXT, which came in again with higher viewership on Tuesday night. They went up from 805,000 viewers to 841,000 viewers, up over 40,000 viewers this week. We saw the debut of Cool Kyle as Kyle O'Reilly brought out his sleazy gimmick from back in PWG, and he defeated Cameron Grimes in the main event, following a tease of a feud with NXT champion Karrion Kross. We had Kushida defeat Oni Lorcan to retain the NXT Cruiserweight Champion in a great matchup, in my opinion. Very, very New Japan Kushida feel to that matchup. Sarray
with the new look.
With the Sakuraba look, without the shoes. I loved it. Sarray made her NXT debut, beating Zoe Stark. LA Knight.
She is gonna be fun. Sarray, she is gonna be fun.
I think she will be. I'll give my thoughts on the match though. LA Knight beat Dexter Lumis after a distraction from Indy Hartwell in the feud that is making me want to blow my brains out on NXT. And this Dexter Lumis in the way, it feels like it's been going on for months, and it's probably only been weeks, but this shit has been going at a snail's pace. And although I thought that the Indy Dexter stuff was fun last week, it was very annoying this week. It was very annoying this week, in my opinion. As for Sarray's debut, I thought that Sarray's debut made Zoe Stark look better than Sarray. And I don't think that was the goal. So
yeah,
they do like Zoe a little bit though. They let her go a little bit.
But if you're building this person up and you're comparing them to Shinsuke Nakamura, Asuka, Io Shirai, and Kairi Sane, you should make her look kind of dominant in her debut. She shouldn't just squeak by the girl that's been losing to everybody every week. I like Zoe Stark, and I think she's talented, and she has improved in every match she's been in NXT, but I don't think that was the best choice. But like I said, Kushida and Oni Lorcan was great, but I know you gave your thoughts on NX3, Romeo, but what stood out the most for you on this episode of NXT?
Cool Kyle. This is I haven't seen this PWG persona before, so this is all new to me. I think it could go somewhere. I think it's likable. I think it's worthy of a top baby face on NXT, and this is interesting. We got Karrion Kross on top as NXT champion, and now we got Kyle O'Reilly debuting this new character. This is going to be an interesting clash of characters, I should say.
Yeah, you got the ultra serious and dark Karrion Kross versus this cool Kyle character. I feel that he was stronger in the exchange with Cameron Grimes, but I wanted the mic to be thrown away from him or set on fire when he was by himself. He's not ready for the babyface promo to the camera.
I have a strong disagreement with that. I liked it.
He did not feel over. The crowd response got lower while he was out there, and he just didn't seem comfortable.
It's not a real crowd response.
Hey, the crowd! I saw the crowd actually with their hands up when he came out, and as he was talking, it just got lower and lower, and then Cameron Grimes came out, and they started responding again. He's not ready for that.
These guys booed MSK.
Yes, that is true. That is, I'm not. I can't defend him on that. But Kyle, he wasn't good. He just wasn't
No.
good.
I disagree.
He just wasn't good. Krssi Luv, what stood out for you on NXT?
I definitely like the Cool Kyle gimmick. Like I said, like Romeo said, I've never seen it, so it's very cute and gravitating too. He does have to work on the promo because it got a little cringy because it got quiet, and I think they wasn't really like feeling what he was saying, or he wasn't like really he wasn't pulling the audience to him. And then, like you said, once Cameron came out, it was like, oh yay, hey, all right, like they were like back alive, like they put the extension cord back and they plugged it back in.
Cameron Grimes lights up any room he enters.
You know what? That is actually very true. You're right.
True.
He cannot go. Yeah. So, I mean, that part was really one of the highlights. Also, no one talked about how what's the girl that's in the way? Damn, what is her name?
Candice Indy Hartwell.
I love Indy Hartwell.
I hate that storyline. I hate
the storyline, but I think it's so funny though.
She's funny.
I think it's entertaining.
I think she's fun. I think it's very, very.
She's getting over.
She's getting
over, but I think Dexter Lumis is getting less over in the process.
He's putting the pussy on a pedestal. You can't put the pussy on a pedestal.
That's one comment I did not expect on Tru Heel Heat 121. So that is my cue to move on.
Definitely. Wow.
Sid, I forgot to mention one thing about the AEW rating. They did go up against the season finale of the challenge, which drew a whole lot of viewers.
Shout outs to my boy Leroy, who made his final challenge on the challenge. I'm a big challenge fan, and it was Leroy's last challenge. He's a draw. So he outdrew AEW. So it went against the finals of the challenge. It went against a bunch of news programming, and basketball and baseball was on
Wednesday. Baseball yesterday. So what was the next season ruling?
NXT did 841, which was up from last week against the news. The news was the only ones that beat them.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think Blood and Guts does in the ratings?
That's gonna be tough.
It is on Cinco de Mayo.
That's gonna be tough because people getting their vaccinations. They're gonna be out.
They're gonna be out there in the streets. Yep. The restaurants is open up late. They can stay up until 12 o'clock now. They're gonna be out here in these streets. Yeah.
It's gonna be tough for AEW, but I think that if they come in with the goal of doing 1 million and they hit 1 million, I think they should be happy. Like I'm
gonna say 1.4.
Wow.
Ooh.
You think the highest rating ever?
Yeah.
Wow.
What? That's a lot for Cinco de Mayo.
And no challenge will be done, right?
Yeah, challenge. That was the finale this week. Even though they come right back usually with new season.
I want to say, don't they have another season of the challenge? No, it's on that new streaming.
Yeah, it's on Paramount. So
that's what that was. Yeah.
But yeah, challenge has been kicking AEW and NXT's butt this whole season. But love this comment. This might be my favorite comment of the live chat. Leroy to AEW. I agree. Leroy needs a new career. The challenge is over. Come to AEW. Make that check. And he can have Cam in his corner. Cam in AEW. Oh, I'm with it. Oh, I know all the people that don't watch the challenge don't have no idea what I'm talking about. But yes,
that's
Leroy. Cam Roy all day. Yes, we also got Nick Jackson saying, gonna miss Roy Lee. See, we got challenge fans in the comments. I'm not alone.
I gotta Google who this person is. Hold on.
I'm not alone. We also got Chase Oliver saying the handling of the Shield as top guys for WWE is so sad. Fan of all three dudes, but the post breakup really, I think, hurt with the ratings as well as with the surrounding talent around them. He does make a good point because I remember that ratings were on the rise when the Shield turned babyface, and then they cut that shit after like 2 months to break them up, which they needed to separate the three to make 3 new stars with Daniel Bryan going down, but they could have got more out of the babyface Shield run, in my opinion.
Yes, agreed.
He also says, oh God, O'Reilly, I don't know what it is about the dude. Ever since his Red Dragon days, never saw the appeal. To each their own. I see the appeal in Kyle O'Reilly, but Not so much his promos. He's an in-ring guy. He's more of a Cesaro type of guy, in my opinion. Nick Jackson says Kushida versus Oni Lorcan was great. Really good technical work by both of them. Oni was hitting chops that would make Volta proud. So yeah, I mean, Oni Lorcan is probably the most underappreciated guy in NXT. He always has bangers. He still has one of the best matches I've seen Drew McIntyre in since his return to WWE. So I'm all for it.
Oh, I know who he is. Okay, I'm sorry. I was Googling.
It's been years, but he was on the Back to Vegas.
Yes.
Real world. 10 years ago. And he's finally ending his MTV run. Rambo
now you can take them checks and keep it pushing. I mean, get as much as you can. Everyone else is.
I did see his Instagram live with Cam. He said he's going to be doing something on TV, but not the challenge anymore. Rambo says, put Charlotte and Kenny Omega on a press stage. There's only one star. I'm not taking talent. I'm talking who carries it off legit. Kenny lacks it, especially standing next to Tony Khan.
I am not Rambo. That was not me. You see my hands are free. That was not me typing that.
We also got Chase Oliver saying my BNG predictions is 1.4 million as well, Romeo. So he agrees with you. He agrees with you there.
Love to see it.
For now, this will be the last two comments on the challenge. I know we had this challenge interlude here, but we got Chase Oliver saying I used to watch the challenge, not as much. Johnny Bananas the GOAT. We also got Nick Jackson saying Johnny Bananas greater than
Johnny
everyone.
Bananas is a WWE character.
No, wrong. Yeah. Johnny Bananas is John Cena. Yes, he's the John Cena of the challenge. He's won 7 seasons of the challenge, more than anyone. He's been on the most seasons of the challenge. But the GOAT is motherfucking CT. CT is the motherfucking GOAT.
Yes.
He's won 2 of the last 3 seasons, and he's in his late 30s, early 40s. Like, CT is the fucking GOAT, and you never forget it. It's not his fault that
I'd like to see both of them on Miz TV.
I would dig it. The Miz was on the Real World Squad with CT, so I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I was about to say him and CT are still like good friends.
Yeah, so I wouldn't mind.
Not CT, I mean Bananas, Johnny.
Yeah, but and then the last comment we got Chase saying CT is insane. Exactly, real goat shit. That's all I'm gonna say. But yes, we gotta move on. We had more of what we missed. And of course, we got to talk about it. Romeo. WWE Raw with the main event of Asuka defeating Charlotte Flair thanks to Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley. And then she attacked her referee, leading to her being suspended. Our good friend, my brother from an Irish mother, Alex McCarthy, on Tuesday's Wrestling Daily, reported that Charlotte has to get some dental work, which is the reason for her being suspended. We also had on Raw.
How much work do you need? Jesus Christ.
We'll get to
Relax, Melts.
Whoa. We're going to get to that. We'll get to that when we do our news rundown, which is coming up next. But let me just go over what happened on Raw.
Not compare me to Melt. No.
Riddle defeated Randy Orton in an upset. Orton, it was reported, was injured in this match. He had an injured shoulder. But before we get into the Meltzer stuff.
Is that his bad shoulder?
Yeah, the bad shoulder he always gets problems with. But before we get into the Meltzer Charlotte part of this story, let's just talk about what happened on Raw. What was your thoughts on the main event and the way they went about this Charlotte suspension, Romeo?
I don't know what's going on. Why'd you bring back Charlotte if you're just going to suspend her? I mean, I think you should have just waited until she took care of everything she needed to take care of. I don't know what's going on, but I do like the beating up of referees. That is entertaining to me.
It made her feel like a bigger star for me. Like, it just looked like she was a bigger star that could beat up guys. Like, I think it presented her in a different light, which I don't mind. And then the last thing that we
I do like Andrade on social media enjoying Charlotte's.
Oh my God, yo, he is like the winner of it all. Yeah,
he's living his best life on Twitter right now.
Absolutely, yeah. What other way to enjoy suspension? I mean, being released. the 90 days.
Absolutely.
Whatever he said, I don't remember the exact words, but he's living his best life right now.
Absolutely. And then the final, what we missed was Impact Wrestling. Final hype for Rebellion. We also saw Moose returned, and he warned Rick Swann that he better not lose the Unified Impact World Championship to Kenny Omega at Rebellion. A very stern warning from a stern man. I was glad to see Moose back in Impact Wrestling, and it should be interesting whatever goes down following Rebellion, because I think I've said it on here before, after Hard to Kill, I feel like Moose is the guy that's going to get back the Impact title to Impact Wrestling after whatever happens at Rebellion. But let's move on to our news rundown. Romeo's cracking open a new beer. Continue dropping those comments in the live chat. We love you guys. Chase Oliver, Rambo, all you guys in the live chat, Nick Jackson, Jason Michael Campbell. We appreciate all you guys. So continue leaving your thoughts in the live chat, because we're going to get to that. But we got to talk about our news rundown. And yes, first things first, Krssi Luv, we got to talk about the UFC Hall of Famer, the baddest woman on the planet. And I've been told that I have to specify this now.
Oh my God, no, you didn't. Oh God,
I have
Romeo.
to specify this now. I love it. I have to specify this
Armbar.
Sit down.
The SP3 certified Lord and Savior, Rowdy Ronda Rousey has announced on her YouTube channel that she is pregnant. Congratulations to Ronda Rousey. Romeo, isn't it a beautiful thing? Isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
And if you're one of those dorks, nerds,
I am
geeks saying, "Oh, Becky did it first," shut the fuck up. Shut up.
But first of all, why is there a comparison of like who did it first?
There's a rivalry. There's a rivalry between those two fan bases. I don't understand. You don't need to get personal like that.
Yeah.
Yes. It seems like Ronda makes a lot of people make things personal. I will say. She triggers.
Of course she does. She does trigger people. She does it on purpose.
Literally, she's done nothing. It's just how people respond to her.
Yeah, okay.
But yes, congratulations to Ronda Rousey.
Yes, congratulations to she's wanted to just retire and have babies on their farm. She's been saying this forever. So I'm happy that they're finally doing it, and they're enjoying their lives, and I will not take that from anyone who wants to have a family and who wants to just enjoy each other and just be loving and give love to someone and bring somebody into the world. I will never, ever, still can't, stand her, but, congratulations to her man. That's beautiful. I'm so happy for them. I can't wait to see the little baby, little papoose.
Love you keeping the same
on the farm. Yes, of course. Absolutely. Why wouldn't I?
It was revealed during WWE's first quarter conference call that bad. Well, excuse me. I was about to say it again. That's disrespectful.
What a
The 2020 Spotify Artist of the Year, the 2021 Grammy Award winner, and the man who was a part of the greatest celebrity match in WrestleMania history, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Exactly. It was revealed that he increased WWE's Hispanic audience by over 31%. This
was
revealed. Who is he? First quarter. Who's Bad Bunny? I never heard of him. Who's he?
Idiots. Just idiots. And who doesn't know who Bad Bunny is? Like, he's in all the Corona commercials with Snoop. Like, come on. Like, get it together, people. He has his own croc.
Did you mention that he sold out his tour as well?
Yes.
The tour sold out.
For next year.
Things. Yeah, for next year. It's not even this year. It's next year. That's crazy.
For next year. It's ridiculous. But yes, and speaking of Hispanic talent that you probably don't know, we got to talk about Kalisto. Wrestling Observer newsletter gave details regarding the release of Kalisto and how far back it was in the making, saying that he cut his throat several months ago. According to the report, Kalisto had several clashes with officials over creative decisions, including the entire creation of the Lucha House Party. The faction was the idea of Lince Dorado, who thought they could use it to sell merchandise and make more money, even if they weren't pushed. The idea was that Vince McMahon would go for it because it played off Mexican stereotypes. And of course, it was eventually greenlit. Gran Metalik went with the flow, but Kalisto consistently didn't want to be a part of the group, used as a prelim joke. Dorado eventually asked if he and Metalik could be a team since Kalisto wanted nothing to do with it. That's when the angle was for the split was shot, although there was never any plans for it beyond making Kalisto happy. Dorado and Metalik continued to be brought to TV in various matches to lose, while Kalisto wasn't booked at all and eventually was released. So, wow. That is a lot on Kalisto there, but what's your thoughts on Kalisto never being a fan of the Lucha House Party? We got to go to you, Romeo. You're the Hispanic here.
I don't blame him for feeling that way. If you saw how Lucha House Party was booked, you'd understand Kalisto's gripe too.
Yep, I totally agree with that. The gimmick was horrible. It was just trash. Throw it in the garbage. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I can't argue with him.
Yeah, it was bad.
Even the goal to make more money and make merchandise, they never even got that. I don't ever remember seeing Lucha House Party merchandise. There may have been Lucha House Party merchandise. I just don't remember seeing it. I don't know.
That
must have not been that memorable.
I think kids love them.
Lucha. Yes. So we got a couple of before we get to a couple comments, the last note for WWE news is what Romeo was hinting at earlier. Charlotte Flair took to Twitter to blast Uncle Dave Meltzer after his insensitive comments regarding her recent suspension due to getting dental work. Meltzer said, and I quote, "She's just having a complete makeover, you know. That's just basically that's just basically what's happened. So it's one of those things. You know, they make you real subconscious about your looks when you're a woman in wrestling. And it's just one of the negatives about it, but it's a reality of it." Charlotte responded on Twitter, tweeting, and I quote, "Yep. Yeah, I just listened. I thought at Dave Meltzer, Wrestling Observer newsletter, would have learned his lesson last time commenting about women's bodies, addressing what Meltzer said about Peyton Royce months back. But apparently, I'm fair game. So I get to respond again to a rumor about my body. Again.
Again.
You know what? This is when I stop. Dave, go to hell." She continued.
I feel like she said it just like that. She was typing it. Yep. Go ahead. Finish that. I apologize.
She continued on and said, "You have my phone number. It would take you 30 seconds to ask as opposed to giving straight crap to your listeners. Grow up. For you, of all people, to comment on a woman's looks. Do you have any shame, decency, or professionalism left at all? Find a mirror. Look hard, Dave."
Drop mic.
Romeo,
Dave is having
your thoughts first.
Dave was having a rough couple of
whole
ethnic celebrity thing.
Yeah.
And then this, it's just like it's very tone deaf. Charlotte is right about everything she said.
She did. She's very right.
If you think you have her number, you can just call her up and ask her, why she take a time off, whatever. This is bad. Bad Dave. Bad uncle. Awful.
Bad uncle. Say uncle.
Sometimes we call him Uncle Dave Meltzer, and sometimes we call him Dud for drunk.
And I saw
Uncle Dave.
I saw a lot of Charlotte Flair haters all of a sudden on her bandwagon because they hate Dave Meltzer even more. Fuck you.
He was like, "You talk trash about Charlotte too. Get the hell out of my bandwagon."
Yeah, it's true. So now she has to get dental work done.
Krssi Luv, what's your view on the overall way that women are treated in professional wrestling, because Mickie James kind of talked about it, how women, going into their 40s are not treated the same as
as the
men
younger
in their
girls.
40s.
Yeah.
No, men in their 40s.
Men in there. Oh, okay.
It's a double standard against women in wrestling. What's your view on that?
It's sad. It sucks because we can do way much more than the guys probably can. It's like you just don't give them the chance, and I guess you have to be young and like, I guess, much prettier. You shouldn't have much babies and have a family to be like pushed. It's sad. It's really sad, and I hate the double standard. I think it really sucks. It's like you won't even give people the chance to like show them, especially when they're giving you like, let me do this, let me do. You're like, oh no, I don't. If you don't come with the ideas, like we can't do it.
And even if you come up with the idea, they reject you. So
they'll try to steal it and spin it and like, oh no, well we have this idea and we're gonna do it our way. But that's what I just told you, and whatever, stupid. WWE, you gotta love.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
We need to appreciate women's wrestling. These female athletes. Because look at Ronda Rousey, look at Lacey Evans. These careers are short. They have to go and make babies, make families. So we gotta appreciate them while we have them. Before they go off, and they're going. Becky Lynch, I forgot to mention her. Yeah.
It's not like we're saying, hey, let me turn my life, let me, it's like a light switch. Let me turn this off while I do this other one and turn it on. It's like, it's not this. We're not thinking that way. You understand what I'm saying? We're thinking about we have this job and we want to do it, and then oh yeah, I also have this life, and now I have to put this thing on pause because I'm doing this now. Like it's like they give us like. They put our backs against the wall. I'm like, you gotta like choose, and it's like you can't do both. It's like, it really sucks though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just sad that how they treat women like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, we the ones that have to bear the children. Like, you guys could do it. Unfortunately, you can't.
No.
No. I don't think you guys would last a day. I don't think you could last a day.
I agree. Chase Oliver says, congrats to Ronda. I remember she said on a podcast, Travis Brown has an issue with having kids. So happy to see them having a kid.
Right. Exactly.
He also says that is what makes Ronda so good. She able to get into people's emotions. Right? Not at all, Krssi, right? She's never got to your emotions. Jason Michael Campbell says, I love to see Kalisto in AEW to join Death Triangle to become Death Square. Chase Oliver says Kalisto is so good in the ring. Apologies for missaying the move, but Selena Del Sol in that TLC match should have made him a star. I remember I think it was against the Usos. He did it against one of the Uso brothers. Rambo says, do you think Chris Hemsworth might reconsider playing Hogan given the bad reaction he got at Mania? I don't see how this will come off well for the film. I doubt that Chris Hemsworth has seen a WrestleMania, if he's even seen this WrestleMania. Just saying. We got Chase Oliver saying the Charlotte bandwagon is closed for the haters. Love the queen. Come back whenever. We got supporters Chase in the live chat for you, man. And then we got Rambo saying they would take Sable back if Brock didn't have her locked up in the compound. She was massive in days on front of TV, magazines, Playboy. Fact is, though, the wrestlers can't last long as females yet. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what the WWE has kind of put in our brain. So yeah, that's how we're gonna view it.
Did they have a bad ending with Sable?
Yeah, she filed a lawsuit against them for sexual harassment. So
that's why we haven't seen her in forever.
Don't think that's happening. AEW news. Speaking with Snoop Dogg on Hot 97, Peter Rosenberg, WWE correspondent, said he felt
so we have the same feelings about Rosenberg. Okay, great. Go ahead.
He's a shield, and although
he's such a fuckboy. He's a mark for them. He's such a my god.
Jesus.
No, he is though. Like he
is. Come on, Romeo. Like let's be honest.
He pissed me off with that video he made when he wanted to, badmouth Dave Meltzer. And Dave Meltzer gives you every reason to badmouth him. But
we've spoken about it on this this episode alone.
yeah, Peter Rosenberg has no legs to stand on. You're a fucking shield. You're a fucking WWE robot, and then you tell fans, "Oh, you should watch better podcasts who don't do the same thing as Dave Meltzer. They don't report on the news. They don't tell us what's going on behind the scenes." And then he tells us to listen to Wade Keller, who is the head of PW Torch, who PW Torch had Bruce Mitchell, who was the one that said AEW was paying Brody Lee's wife to keep quiet about Brody Lee's death. So get the fuck out of here, Peter Rosenberg. You fucking dickhead. He's a fucking dickhead, man.
Someone say triggered.
But in his latest dickhead comment, he told Snoop Dogg that he felt a little bit of a way when the rapper appeared on Dynamite because Rosenberg's a WWE man.
Mark, shut up.
Snoop responded that WWE felt some kind of way too, right? But let me tell you this though, Snoop Dogg ain't no wrestler. He's bigger than that, and you got to understand that. This is the dynamics of what happened. I had a show on TBS called Go Big Show during the COVID. So Cody Rhodes was one of the judges on the show. He's one of the top dogs at AEW Wrestling Network. So as a promotional vehicle for the gig, they had me go on there just so I could, co-promote the show or whatnot. The fact that Snoop Dogg even explained himself shows you that Snoop Dogg's a great person because he didn't even have to explain himself.
He didn't have to do this. Yep.
Very professional response. Peter Rosenberg has to know better. And no, that's why Snoop Dogg did that. Stop being a mark.
Exactly. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that AEW is looking to increase capacity in daily space to 2,500 people for the upcoming Blood and Guts episode of Dynamite. It is likely they will do the same for Double or Nothing on May 30th, depending on ticket demand. Also, the company is planning to have the event be a one-match television show. Blood and Guts will be under the original 1987 War Games rules, so there will be no pins, only submission or surrender, with a roof on top of the cage. The rest of the show will consist of video packages building the match, and there will be a tape match for the live crowd to watch while that is going on. The idea is AEW experimenting with a one-match TV show in the vein of famous one-match TV shows in wrestling's past, like in the Crockett days with the famous Flair versus Wyndham, Midnight Express versus the Fantastics, and Flair Garvin matches. What do you guys think about Blood and Guts being a one-match TV show, Krssi Luv?
I love to see it. I mean, I love to see how it's going to be executed. I've never seen one before, so let's do it. I'll be tuning in to see what happens. Isn't it on Cinco de Mayo though?
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I have to record it. I don't know. We'll have to,
I don't know. I have to record it. I'll probably be outside. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Romeo?
Well, we'll have to see the execution. I mean, I don't care to see video packages. I'd rather you show me a couple of matches before you get into the Blood and Guts match. But
right,
we'll see how it's executed.
We shall see. We shall see for sure. It's an interesting experiment. New Japan Pro Wrestling news.
Right.
Filthy Tom Lawler defeated Brody King to win the New Japan Cup USA 2021 tournament, and he becomes the first ever New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight champion. So he is the official champion of New Japan Strong. Congratulations to Tom Lawler. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that another state of emergency has been declared in Japan due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which could have ramifications for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Any shows in Tokyo or Osaka from April 29th to May 9th will be affected. Luckily for New Japan, they don't have any set there. However, if things get worse, it could be different. New Japan Pro Wrestling has a show, of course, in the Tokyo suburb of Yokohama on May 15th inside the stadium, the Yokohama Stadium, and on May 29th at the Tokyo Dome. So it should be interesting what's going on in Japan. Impact Wrestling news: following her loss to Havoc on Before the Impact last week, Nevaeh announced on Twitter that she is finished with Impact Wrestling. Fightful Select reported that Impact is planning on bringing in new female talent over the next couple of weeks and months. Former Impact Wrestling president Dixie Carter revealed on Twitter that her house caught fire and firefighters were able to save her and her home. So, our thoughts and well wishes to Dixie Carter. ROH News announcer Ian Riccaboni has re-signed with ROH. NWA News, NWA announces their next pay-per-view for Sunday, June 6th, When Our Shadows Fall. NWA has some weird names for their pay-per-views. That's all I will say. When Our Shadows Falls is their next pay-per-view on June 6th. And speaking of that, our friends over at Warrior Wrestling announced this week that the June 5th Kylie Rae versus Thunder Rosa Warrior Wrestling women's title match is now off due to Rosa having to appear at the NWA pay-per-view. But Rosa will be replaced by her twisted sister, partner, and a friend of Tru Heel Heat, Holiday. So Holiday will go one-on-one with Kylie. We'll go one-on-one with Kylie Rae for the Warrior Wrestling Women's title on June 5th, a part of their Stadium Series, which will continue in July as well as August. Thunder Rosa will appear on the August edition of the Stadium Series. Our thoughts and prayers go out to EC3, who is currently in the hospital with an infection, as well as our good brother, Romeo, our good brother, Steve Mongo McMichael, who has been diagnosed with ALS. It's very sad to hear about Mongo. I'll take the curtain back a little bit, and we got into a debate. Romeo suggested not doing the Mongo meter anymore when we return with True Rewind, but the Mongo meter is here to stay because it's a tribute to Mongo, because he was a fantastic football player, a former Super Bowl champion, a part of the Chicago Bears. He was not the best announcer, but I always have a good time listening to him. So he's doing something right. And he wasn't the best wrestler, but he was always entertaining when I saw him because it was just a fun experiment. It was great. So Steve Mongo McMichael, our thoughts and prayers out to you. And then final thoughts and prayers out to Terry Funk, who is currently recovering from COVID-19, the legendary icon of professional wrestling. We're hoping that he gets well very soon. And then to bring it up on some more brighter notes, guys, our final news note has to do with our friends over at Battle Club Pro. Battle Club Pro, we want to send out a congratulations to them. Yes. They have announced that they are opening their new training wrestling school. They are opening up their own wrestling school. That's
beautiful. That's a big thing.
And what a cool name.
That's a big deal.
What a cool name.
The Fallout Shelter in Long Island City for all the aspiring wrestlers in the East Coast area, in the New York City area, who are watching right now. Battle Club Pro is providing quality ring time, a safe space for you to, help your career in the professional wrestling world. I was sent this video by the owner of BCP, who was with us last week, Joe Kim Morales. So take a look.
This is not a test. This is a national emergency. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. I repeat, this is not a test. An attack was commenced against the sport of professional wrestling. Multiple nuclear bombs were detonated in areas across the U.S. At this time, all aspiring wrestlers should seek the Fallout Shelter. Prolonged exposure to radioactivity will result in disaster. This is the designated location to prevent contamination. Do not leave the Fallout Shelter until permission is granted. Stay tuned for further instructions. Please stand by.
The Fallout Shelter, great preview.
I love the
video.
name. Yeah.
It's coming. Long Island City. Please contact Joe Kim Morales on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. He will give you details on the Fallout Shelter, but definitely a huge congratulations to our friends over at Battle Club Pro. They're doing great things. You guys all know about the event, May 29th, May the Franchise Reign. It's going to be an excellent show, 2 shows where they're going to crown their first heavyweight franchise champion. And also, we can tell you that Tru Heel Heat are the official sponsors of the match that we talked about last week. It's the 4-way in the tournament for the field of 16. It's going to be our good brother Darius Carter versus Edith Surreal versus O'Shea Edwards versus Yaya the Gifted One. Not only is Tru Heel Heat the sponsors for that match at May the Franchise Reign, Tru Heel Heat, we can announce, is the official sponsors for Darius Carter. Darius Carter is the
Who else? Who else?
Sponsored athlete. Of course. Had to keep it in the family. He's a part of the Tru Heel Heat family.
He is. Sure. He really is. Yep.
So we're going to end off things with our Impact Rebellion preview and predictions. Before we do that, I'm going to run through a couple of these great comments. You guys have been very active. Chase Oliver, Rambo, you guys are real MVPs, man. You guys are letting us know everything. Rambo saying Snoop Dogg won $2 million on Jake Paul. Yes, he did. And he was very excited when he knocked out Ben Askren, I will say. Rambo says, oh, great. Another mess up. They will do on a classic match. AEW Leave It. He's responding to Blood and Guts being a one-match TV show. While Chase Oliver is on the other end of the spectrum and says, great idea for AEW. I love the difference in opinions in the live chat. You guys are great. I love it. This is the wrestling world. We're all not going to agree on everything. I love the
Fuck AEW. Fuck you.
Right.
I love the fact our live chat kind of embodies that. Like, it's crazy. We got Nick Jackson saying congrats to Filthy Tom for becoming the new New Japan Strong Openweight champion. And I know I said one last challenge comment, but Nick Jackson had another good challenge comment where he gave me credit. I'll give you that. Sid, CT is superior. After all, he invented the Bananas backpack. If you've never seen Bananas backpack on Challenge, if there is one Challenge clip or an elimination for you to watch, just put in YouTube after this video is done, Bananas backpack. It's one of the most amazing things CT.
I don't know. That sounds very dirty.
It does.
No, it's not as dirty as it sounds. We got Rambo saying.
I love how his voice. You see how his voice? He's like, no, it's not. I promise. Yeah, like, no.
We got Rambo saying, blood and guts, LOL. 2 guys will beat themselves senseless, go off air, and then the goofball Tony Khan will immediately tell the press both guys are fine and not injured.
Jesus, Rambo.
Rambo is the true heel of the live chat. I love it. Jason Michael says, trust me, you talk about Peter Rosenberg, I don't think Sam Roberts is any better. Yeah, they both suck.
I'll agree with that.
And see, Nick Jackson agrees with us. They both suck. Yes, absolutely. And then Chase Oliver, of course, saying his prayers to all the dudes that we talked about: Terry Funk, Steve Mongo, Mick Michaels, EC3. Definitely, and Dixie Carter as well with our home catching fire. Thoughts and prayers and well wishes to all those.
Yes, I wouldn't worry about Terry Funk though. He's gonna have fucking COVID tapping out pretty quickly here.
He's middle-aged and crazy, and COVID ain't got nothing on him. Nick Jackson says, yo, big congratulations to Battle Club Pro for sure. And then Chase Oliver, he says, I may not agree with all opinions, but it is wrestling at the end of the day. I just like discussion. And
we're
brother,
all fans.
You came to the right place for that. So let's go to our final segment, Impact Rebellion pay-per-view preview. Impact Wrestling's next big pay-per-view is this Sunday. It's going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's available on Fight TV as well as standard cable pay-per-view. And they have an 8-match card on the ledger for this. And they have a bunch of matches that they have built really, really well. A couple of ones that if you're a WWE fan, you will be naturally drawn to. If you're a New Japan fan, they're represented on this card. AEW, of course, in the main event. But we're going to start from the bottom, work our way to the top.
Bottom to the top.
grudge match between two former Raw Tag Team and SmackDown Tag Team champions. It's going to be the artist formerly known as Kurt Hawkins, Brian Myers, going one-on-one with his former Major Bro, his co-host on the Major Wrestling Figures podcast, Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder. Ever since Cardona has come to Impact Wrestling, Brian Myers has said that he's been riding his coattails for all these years, that he rode his into Impact Wrestling. He said that he wants nothing to do with Cardona. Cardona got into his business, refereeing his match against Eddie Edwards, which Eddie Edwards eventually won that feud. And ever since then, Brian Myers has targeted Matt Cardona, but not looking for a match because he doesn't want to wrestle Matt Cardona until Matt eventually convinced them to have this match at Rebellion. So the spotlight is on these two men. Who do you think wins, Brian Myers versus Matt Cardona? Let's start with you, Romeo.
So Myers is the heel?
Yes.
I'll go Myers. True heel.
True heel.
True heel. Ooh.
Myers or Cardona?
I was going to go with Myers.
Yes. And of course, we're not the only ones predicting here. We need your predictions in the live chat. If you're watching on demand, drop your predictions in the comment section below. And I am going to go with Matt Cardona to get the victory. I feel like Matt Cardona has come to Impact Wrestling. He needs a big signature win, and this could be it. I know you hate Matt Cardona, Romeo, so I fully expected you to pick Brian Myers. But
I'll be honest with you, I hate them both.
Right.
That's fair.
I gotta pick one of them. So
same energy. We have to move on to an 8-man tag team match, as is VBD, Violent by Design. Eric Young, his group with Diener, Joe Doring, and Rhino will verse an Impact All-Stars team of Eddie Edwards, Chris Sabin, Cowboy James Storm, and Willie Mack. Violent by Design has been on a tear throughout Impact Wrestling. Most recently, been feuding with James Storm and Chris Sabin. James Storm's challenged Eric Young to his 1,000 match, which James Storm got an assist from his old America's Most Wanted tag team partner, Chris Harris, to get the victory. After that, VBD attacked Chris Harris in Swingers Palace. Then we saw at Hardcore Justice, it was Willie Mack, Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, and Tommy Dreamer who lost in the Hardcore War main event to Violent by Design. And then that led Eddie Edwards and Cowboy James Storm saying they wanted to combine their two sides to go to war with Violent by Design at Rebellion. So we come to this match here. Krssi Luv, who wins? Violent by Design or Team Impact? Who wins?
I love the name of Violent by Design. So who's that? VBD?
Yeah.
I love the name. I like them. Go ahead, friend.
Going with Violent by Design. I'm going to agree with you. I've been liking the push by Violent by Design. I've been liking the vignettes and the promos by Eric Young and his work with trying to make Diener a creep or an evil human being. I've been enjoying all of it. So I'm going with VBD. Who you got, Romeo? Violent by Design or the Impact All-Stars?
I will almost always go with the established team versus the team that's just put together. So VBD.
Going with VBD. We have to move on to our first stipulation match of the night. It's going to be a last man standing matchup as Sami Callihan goes one-on-one with Trey Miguel. Ever since Trey Miguel returned to Impact Wrestling following the ending of the time of the Rascals in Impact Wrestling, it's been Sami Callihan who has been harassing him and tormenting him, questioning his passion for professional wrestling. His passion has led his quest to seek out the passion of Trey Miguel has led to the two men teaming up together against Triple XL, with them getting the victory. But then Sami Callihan said he wanted to take Trey Miguel under his wing, and Trey Miguel saw through that, knows that Sami Callihan is not the guy that he wants to have as a mentor. So Sami Callihan beat him down, did a cool exploder suplex into a steel chair, but Trey Miguel kept standing up. He would not stay down, which leads us to this last man standing match. So who wins? Sami Callihan proves Trey Miguel has no passion, or Trey Miguel proves he has all the passion in the world? Romeo.
even though this match is right down Sami Callihan's alley, Trey Miguel needs this win. So I'm going Trey.
Krssi, who you got?
I was going to go with Sami, but from what you've just told me, I think Trey is going to win.
The story, it necessitates Trey Miguel winning this match. If it wasn't a stipulation match, and maybe it was the first match of a series of matches on pay-per-view, I could see Sami winning here, but the last man standing stipulation kind of necessitates, to tell a proper story, Trey Miguel wins. Our first title match, our first of 5 title matches on this card, is for the Impact Knockout Tag Team Championships, as Fire and Flavor will defend the titles against Jordynne Grace and the newest addition to the Knockouts division of Impact Wrestling, Rachel Ellering, the daughter of Precious Paul Ellering, the former manager of the Legion of Road Warriors. She made her debut this week on Impact Wrestling after it was last week Jazz and Jordynne Grace got a victory over Fire and Flavor in what was Jazz's last match in Impact Wrestling. Scott D'Amore gave them the title shot, but Jazz says that she is done. She's done. She lost to Deonna Purrazzo at Hardcore Justice to retire from Impact Wrestling, so she's done. But she had the perfect partner for Jordynne Grace, which turns out that it was Rachel Ellering. So who wins? Ellering and Grace versus Fire and Flavor. Krssi Luv.
Fire and Flavor.
I knew you would.
Sure.
I knew you would go with them. Romeo.
And new Knockout Tag Team Champions, Jordynne.
Whatever.
And Rachel.
Fine.
I really, and that goes against Romeo's theory, because he said he always goes with the regular over the
unless the person is just debuting and really needs a win.
Which I have to agree with. I would have gone with Fire and Flavor with pretty much anyone being Jordynne Grace's partner, except for a new person who really needs, like, she's not a star. She has a name because of her last name. She has experience.
Right.
Exactly. Oh, where have I heard that before?
But she needs this victory, and I think the Knockouts Tag Team division needs a little change in pace. I think Fire and Flavor will eventually get it back, but it seems like the night to give it to Grace and Ellering. So we move on from there to X Division action, as this match has all the makings to steal the show. It's going to be Ace Austin defending the X Division Championship against the former champion TJP and Josh Alexander. It was Ace Austin who defeated TJP to win the X Division Championship. TJP had previously defeated Josh Alexander in a great matchup on Impact on Access TV, but Josh Alexander got his win back 2 weeks ago over TJP. Josh Alexander also has a victory in non-title action before Ace Austin won the title over Ace Austin. So pretty much everyone has beaten each other in one-on-one matches, which brings us to this three-way with 3 of the best X Division wrestlers in the world. So who wins? Ace Austin, TJP, or Josh Alexander, Romeo?
And
it's a hard one.
Still Ace Austin.
Yep.
You agree, Krssi?
I agree. Ace Austin for the win, friend.
Ace Austin is just a guy to build this X Division around. Chris Bay is currently out injured, so this just feels like it's Ace Austin's division right now. But this match, I feel like it's going to surprise a lot of people. I know a lot of people are going to order this pay-per-view for the main event, but keep your eyes on this three-way for the X Division title, because Josh Alexander is one of the best technical wrestlers. Ace Austin is one of the best, most versatile athletes in Impact Wrestling, and TJP does a little bit of everything, so it's going to be a great match. We go back to the ladies, and we talk about the Knockouts title match.
Oh, baby.
Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa, defending against Tenille Dashwood with Caleb with a K. Tenille Dashwood won a 6-way weapons match at Hardcore Justice to earn this opportunity. Deonna Purrazzo has won the title back last year at the end of the year, defeating Su Yung to become a 2-time knockout champion. But this is a little change of pace because we haven't seen Deonna Purrazzo in the ring with another heel before. So this is a heel versus heel matchup, a new dynamic for out of all these matches. It's the only heel versus heel matchup, and it's not something we see too often in professional.
Right.
So who wins here, Purrazzo or Dashwood? Let's start with you, Krssi.
This is a hard one. Purrazzo has been champion for how long?
I believe 4 months.
I'm gonna go with Purrazzo.
Deonna Purrazzo to retain. Romeo, who you got?
And still.
Yep.
Deonna.
So I agreed with you on Ace Austin, and I'm going to agree with you with Deonna Purrazzo. Danielle Dashwood, I feel like, does need the win because she's had a couple of title shots in the past, which she came up short with, and I feel like this is the best incarnation of Tennille Dashwood in Impact Wrestling, but Deonna Purrazzo has been on a roll. She needs to continue that role.
You got a good thing going here.
Yeah, keep it going.
Our 4th of 5 title matches on this card is an interpromotional battle as the former
this one's tough.
Impact Tag Team champions, the Good Brothers, will go up against the new Impact Tag Team champions, New Japan Pro Wrestling's own FinJuice of David Finlay and Juice Robinson. It was back at Sacrifice last month that FinJuice defeated the Good Brothers to become the Impact Wrestling Tag Team champions. The Good Brothers had basically said they were too cocky, they were too into themselves, their heads were somewhere else, and that's why they lost. But now they are focused.
Kenny Omega's ass? Is that where their heads were?
Yep.
They are focused. They are ready to go in, and they're ready.
Are you gonna have the same drip they had on the other day? Because I'm here for it. I have them to drip.
That was the Young Bucks. They just had on their brother shirts. But
no, they had on they had earrings on. They looked like super lit, man. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So who wins? Good Brothers versus FinJuice. Let's start with you, Romeo.
Jesus. Do we have to start with me? Why don't you go first? You go first for once.
Why not? I'm going with the Good Brothers. I think the Good Brothers take the titles back. I think that FinJuice, this was a run to kind of establish the partnership between New Japan Pro Wrestling and Impact Wrestling, get the Impact Wrestling tag team titles on New Japan shows, which they were featured on. So it made sense for the run, but I feel like this is a short-term run, and the Good Brothers become 2-time Impact Tag Team Champions. Krssi Luv?
I have to agree and say, and a new champion. Can we just shout out the Good Brothers that had turned lemons into lemonade? They are having the best. It's not even summer, but they're having the hot girl / winter, fall, summer, and spring all in one. Just excited for them. Right. You just turned something into that was just could have been bad, but you like look where you are now. You're on top.
Yeah, like
you're not on one show, but you're on 2 shows, 2 platforms.
For all of the like up and down years, some people can say a lot of the release talent from last year no one can deny that the Good Brothers have been highly successful since leaving WWE.
It's a lemonade.
Good Brothers or FinJuice?
Both of you have influenced me. That's why I made you guys pick first. Good Brothers.
You was gonna pick the Good Brothers before that, but you just so please, you was gonna pick them before.
Going with the Good Brothers, and folks, you know what that means. There's only one match left, and it's the match that are gonna pay some good money to see, as it's title versus title. Impact World Champion Rich Swann goes one-on-one with the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega with Impact VP Don Callis in his corner.
Don Callis, he's another one that's like just winning right now.
This all started all the way back in December when Kenny Omega won the AEW World Championship from Jon Moxley, thanks to Don Callis. From there, he started appearing on Impact Wrestling, and in his very first promo on Impact Wrestling, mind you, let me remind everybody, there was a lot of folks, Wrestling Inc., I'm gonna point at you. I'm sorry, Nick House and all the good people at Wrestling Inc. But y'all motherfuckers said Kenny Omega was a one-off. He was only going to appear on that one episode. But let's go all the way back to that first episode where Kenny Omega said that he was a belt collector, that he was going to go around and collect belts from all these places.
Yep.
Move on to Hard to Kill when Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers defeated Rich Swann, Chris Sabin, and Moose in a 6-man tag team matchup with Kenny Omega hitting the One-Wing Angel and pinning Rich Swann. We take it back a couple of weeks back where they had another 6-man tag with Omega and the Good Brothers losing this time with Swann and Willie Mack and Eddie Edwards getting the victory with Swann pinning Anderson in the end. And we come to this. We've had a press conference with both men exchanging words. Our good brother Alex McCarthy was featured on that press conference, as well as Ariel Helwani, MMA writer. So yeah, they've done good work promoting this on Impact Wrestling. AEW, not so much. There's been a mere mention of Kenny Omega becoming the Impact World Champion on AEW Dynamite, but then again, it's not an AEW pay-per-view. This is an Impact Wrestling pay-per-view, and they've done a great job hyping this match, including bringing in a special announcer for this matchup.
I saw that.
Mamma mia!
They're stacking it up.
Former NXT announcer Mauro Ranallo will be on the call for the Rebellion main event of Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann. So, Mamma Mia's for us all. And now finally, let's predict it. It's Rich Swann versus Kenny Omega. Who will walk out as the AEW and Impact World Champions? Romeo.
And new Impact World Champion from North Carolina, Kenny Omega. Sid, I have a couple of questions for you. But, we could go through the predictions first.
Krssi?
And they knew he's going to be the belt collector. He's going to say it. He's going to prove it tonight that he's going to win. Oh, is it tonight or tomorrow?
Tomorrow night.
Okay, tomorrow night. He's going to prove that he's going to win tomorrow night.
And yes, once again, this is unanimous. Yes, Kenny Omega will defeat Rich Swann to become the AEW World Champion and the new Impact Wrestling World Champion. It just makes sense. Like, this is the whole they've built up this entire time. It just needs to happen. They need to not play games. So I just hope that
you can't call yourself the belt collector and then not collect any belts.
And not collect any belts, right? You can't loot like that. That would be retarded.
Exactly. And he can have his 4 titles out there on AEW Dynamite. What was your question, Romeo?
I have 2 questions. The first one you touched on. Did Tony Khan explain why AEW hasn't really gone hard promoting this? Is it just like it belongs? That's Impact's responsibility, or what?
They haven't not going hard. It seems like an understatement. They haven't even hyped it. They never told us where the match is at. If you watch AEW, all you know is that he will probably become the Impact World Champion. You don't know even who he's versing at Rebellion. So Tony Khan addressed it and said that basically that was on Impact Wrestling. He literally pays them for the ads to promote Dynamite on Impact Wrestling. So it was on Impact to kind of do what he does and pay for an ad during his TV time. And when you look at the whole partnership, if you're going to call it that, between Impact and AEW, AEW has given more to Impact than Impact has given to AEW. Impact has given them, yes, the Good Brothers to be a part of this new super elite group with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. But on the other end of the spectrum, Kenny Omega has been on Impact Wrestling pretty regularly. Not only has he been on there, Private Party has been on there. They were on there for a couple of weeks to build up No Surrender. Kenny Omega has helped them sold their last 2 pay-per-views. Not only that, they had Tony Khan at the press conference. Tony Khan has appeared on Impact Wrestling in the crowd during the match between Private Party and Chris Sabin and James Storm. Jerry Lynn has appeared on Impact Wrestling. AEW has sent more talent to draw eyes to Impact Wrestling than Impact Wrestling has drawn any eyes to AEW. So I understand. You know me, guys. I try to put my Vince hat on and understand.
And try to understand. Yeah.
And I'm putting my Tony hat on and understand where AEW is coming from. Yes, I wish that they would have had like a video package or something to promote the Rebellion.
Or how about this? How about this? Can I throw this in there? The segment with Moxley and Eddie Kingston. I think it would have been kind of cool if you had Rich Swann there with them.
Nah, that would have been too jarring because he has no history with them. I would have just liked Kenny Omega to cut a promo on Rich Swann before Kingston and Moxley are outside with the car. That's all I needed, really. I needed a promo or a video package.
At least them on Dynamite.
Yeah. I don't think I honestly don't think Rich Swann needed to be on Dynamite. They just needed like a video package or a promo.
At least.
Or something, yes.
Well, that's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So let's
And my other question?
Yeah.
This is looking forward, looking ahead. We've all dabbled with the idea that Moose wins back the title from Kenny Omega, right?
Yeah.
But are you okay with like Moose beating Kenny Omega before anyone in AEW does?
Oh, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Kenny Omega is going to be the Impact World Champion until he loses the AEW World Championship.
Oh, he'll lose that first.
He'll lose the AEW World Championship before he loses the Impact World title.
So then that would have to be Hangman at Double or Nothing, which we talked about earlier. We don't want to see that happen. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it.
Or they put over Hangman there, by him kicking out the One Wing Angel, and then he earns his way back maybe at All Out or Full Gear. I think that I don't know if we're gonna finish out the year.
So Impact waits that long to get their title back?
Impact is spread out there. They spread out their pay-per-views. Their next pay-per-view is in July. After July, their next pay-per-view.
I love that they spread out their time. Right. I love that they spread out their pay-per-views, like build up the time frame so that people can like invest into the stories. You don't need a pay-per-view every month. It's
gonna be one lonely summer for Impact.
Hey, he's gonna be on. He literally they tape a whole month. He just has to show up once, and he's there for a month on TV. So
okay,
no.
I'm just worried that I don't want Kenny Omega to lose to Impact guy before he loses to an AEW guy. I don't think that's smart business.
I know that Dave Meltzer has a reported on Wrestling Observer that Tony Khan is adamant that his guys won't be pinned somewhere else until especially as the AEW World Champion. But we got a couple of predictions in the live chat. Nick Jackson predicts Matt Cardona to beat Brian Myers. We got him also saying, as much as I love all those Impact All-Stars, I got to go with Violent by Design. Chase Oliver mentions a good note here. Isn't Eric Young injured? Yes, he was injured during the last Impact Wrestling taping, but there hasn't been announced change to that 8-man tag. And maybe that 8-man tag becomes a 6-man. You never know, but we shall find out. But thank you for mentioning that.
Maybe he just doesn't tag in.
Or that. Nick Jackson says he's got Trey Miguel beating Sami Callihan. Chase Oliver says I got Trey, but won't be surprised if Sami wins. We got Mark Lloyd in the comments. He says his top guy JJ on holiday. Yes, he is working. He is working. He's a hard-working man. He's out there working. Nick Jackson says fire and flavor for the win over the Rachel Ellering and Jordan Grace.
Relax.
Chrissy's happy. Someone agrees with her. Nick Jackson says, I agree with Romeo, but I got to go with my heart on this one. Could also see the match ending in a dirty finish with Fire and Flavor and Grace and Ellering. We also say, he says, I'm torn between Ace Austin and Josh Alexander. Just know it won't be TJP. Anyone but TJP. Right? He says Deanna retains. He's got to go with the Good Brothers.
Negro Buck. When are you going to change that profile picture?
And then he says,
I love it though. It's so cool.
AEW World Champion and new Impact World Champion, Kenny God Omega, the god of pro wrestling. Bigger than Flair, bigger than Hackenschmidt, bigger than Gotch. Yes.
So the Elite is going to have all the gold, according to us.
I hope
Impact
so.
Wrestling tag team titles,
That's a
Impact
lot of
World
gold.
Championship, AEW World
The drip
Championship,
is gonna come. The drip.
AEW World Tag
Hey.
Team titles.
They're gonna cut a hell of a promo next week on Dynamite.
What? Oh my god! Whoever's
Lovely.
doing their outfits, I can't wait to see it.
Dripping in gold. You gotta love it. But yes, that brings us to a close on Tru Heel Heat 122 Trash Bag Rebellion. Drop those comments.
I love that. That
I'm
name
still
is
laughing
just
at that name.
epic. That
Drop-
is an epic name.
Drop those comments in for us if you're watching on demand in the comment section. We love your comments on these Tru Heel Heat podcasts, and we will probably read it on the next edition of Tru Heel Heat 122. But while you're at it, after you're done with this live stream, check out a bunch of the brand new content on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. Blunt Impact from last week is up. It will have a new episode up this weekend. The A&E biography, Stone Cold Steve Austin review with myself and Romeo. Doing great work. Over 450 views already. So keep on watching those. Give us those likes. Put those likes up a little bit more. I want to go 50 likes.
And we're gonna keep doing that every week.
Yes.
Absolutely. We'll be back with a new one, the A&E biography for Roddy Piper. That will be up during the week. You got Fusion of Honor. The first episode is up right now. Romeo was on Joints and Jabroni's special 420 episode. Dark Power from this.
I did not smoke, Mom.
He did. NXT with Romeo, Chris G, and Ness is up right now. Cool Kyle episode. But like you said, we got a bunch of brand new content that's going to be up this week. The A&E biography, Roddy Piper review. Oh, also, got to promote, since we just talked about the pay-per-view. Wouldn't be right if we didn't promote that. Yes, we'll have a live roundtable review following Impact Wrestling Rebellion. 30 minutes following the pay-per-view on Sunday. So join myself, Chris G, and Ness, the brothers of Blunt Impact, the Pot Heels. We're going to be there to review everything that happened at Impact Wrestling Rebellion. Romeo, thank you for joining us on this edition.
Yes, thank you.
Please tell the people where they can find you on social media.
Thank you guys for having me. The Pride of NY, Twitter and Instagram, right here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, NX3. Check us out. We talk NXT. See what we did there?
I love it. Krssi
I
Luv,
love how he just does that. Like, it's so effortless. Shout out
where
to
can
you,
they
Romeo.
find you on social media and the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, of course.
Yes, I am one of the co-hosts of Tru Heel Heat weekly show that comes out every week with my good brothers, Mr. SP and Mr. Top Guy JJ. But you can find me. I am at Miss Krssi Luv _ or just Krssi Luv, and on IG and Twitter and on Facebook at just Crystal Lynch.
Absolutely. And for those who didn't hear Romeo, at the Pride of NY, he does great stuff on all social media platforms, as well as myself.
The pony, as they call me in the streets.
The pony. Yes. You can also follow me at Tru Heel SP3. You can follow the gang on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Tru Heel Heat. Check out a bunch of my content from during the week. This week's Powered 4 SP3 with myself and John Scott. Me and Alex McCarthy on Wrestling Daily. We talked all about the Stone Cold podcast. We talked about the Stone Cold documentary. So you can check us out if you want to hear Alex's thoughts on that. You can also check out myself, Rick Ucchino, and Dutch Mantel on the Sports Keto Wrestling YouTube channel with Smack Talk this past week. And if you're not just a wrestling fan, if you like a little extra content for you, jump over to the good brother Jimmy Macaram's YouTube channel. Brand new reviews of the entire season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
And our finale review will be out this week. So definitely check that out.
I'm so sad it was such a short season, but whatever.
Hey, it happens. But
Y'all should watch Mortal Kombat together.
Why not? Why not? I would be down for that. But yes, for everyone watching, thank you so much for watching this edition of Tru Heel Heat, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, drop us a like, a heart emoji, any type of expression. It helps us out. It helps us get more engagement to this video. If you're watching on YouTube, drop us a like, smash that subscribe button and the bell to always stay notified for all the great content when we go live right here on Tru Heel Heat. So, for Miss Krssi Luv, For the connoisseur of reporting, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SB3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 122, Trash Bag Rebellion. We are signing off until